Hello everyone, and how is everyone doing? Welcome to our YouTube cooking channel Spicy Food 6972. Today we're going to be making two new dishes. The first one is mashed Rohu fish or Rohu fish Bharta, which we're going to make in two different varieties, one which is spicy and one which is not. And our second dish that we're going to make is mashed long beans or long bean Bharta. As you can see, they're right here in finished format. For this mashed Rohu fish or Rohu fish Bharta, you will need 2 cups of diced onion, 2 cups of diced cilantro leaf, 15 green chillies, 1/3 cup of chopped garlic, 8 pieces of Rohu Grass Carp fish, 9 dried red chili peppers, salt to taste, and 1/3 cup of cooking oil. So first we're going to start by pouring a cup of water into our frying pan on medium-high heat and putting our rohu fish pieces into it.
We wash the rohu fish with the vinegar and salt. You have to wash the fish properly. Garlic.
I'm going to put a garlic in there too.
And our onion.
And our onions are going to go in there too. And we're going to put in our green chili peppers as well. So it's been 3 to 4 minutes and our fish and water and broth and everything has come to a boil. So we're going to add some salt to it.
1 teaspoon of salt.
About 1 teaspoon. And we're going to give it a stir so that it mixes a little bit. And now we're going to put a lid on it so that it's cooking
for 10 minutes.
Yes, for 10 minutes with a lid.
And medium high heat.
And now we have come back after 10 minutes and we're going to see what it looks like. You can get a fragrance, a smell of the whole entire recipe that has come to complete so far from everything being mixed. And we're going to add our oil and half our cilantro to the recipe. And we're going to mix it. As you can see, the fish is breaking apart. If it doesn't break apart, you can break it apart. So you can see all the water in our recipe has dried up, and now we're roasting it on our frying pan with the oil.
It is very nice.
So we have been roasting it in our oil for a total of 7 minutes, and I recommend that you go for a non-stick pan or surface when you're cooking this recipe. Otherwise it could get a little bit sticky and messy, so that's just what you should do, is recommended.
We're roasting it medium heat. On medium heat.
So we have been roasting this for another 7 minutes for a total of 15 minutes in oil, and we recommend that you roast it for a longer time than just a few minutes because it will increase the flavor of the fish and make the recipe much better to taste. On the other side, we have a pan that's frying our red dried chili peppers. Do this if you want to make your fish Bharta or mashed fish really spicy, or for people who want to eat the food really spicy.
Then you can add it.
Yes. We're frying the red dried chili peppers in cooking oil.
Red chili.
And we're gonna roast it until the red chilies have turned a little bit dark, almost maroon, and they become crispy. Now we have been roasting for another 5 minutes, and as you can see, the fish is sticking to the pan a little bit, but we are taking it off with our red spatula every now and then, and it's making a roasted brown mark on the fish. That's actually what you need to make this, because the more roasted it is and the darker brown it is from roasting it, the better it will taste.
Yeah, we are done now.
We're done, and we're gonna now take the fish bones out of our recipe that we have so far by hand. So you can see our finally finished roasted fish Bharta or mashed fish, but we're not done. We're going to have to take the fish bones out of the fish, and we're doing that right now. So as you can see, this is our recipe without any fish bones because we took it all out, and you can see the consistency of our fish. If you want, you can put it in a food processor to make it even more blended, but we're putting in
some cilantro
and chopped onions, and
not all of them.
Yes, not all of them, and some dried red spices, chilies, because we would like to taste more of that in our fish recipe, but you don't have to put them in. It's totally up to you how you'd like to eat it. And you have to remember that if you put in onions into your fish, then it will start to smell after about a day or some time. So only put it into the amount.
I'm going to show you how to add more spices and onions. Take some. You can eat like this way, so spicy, and this one is finished too.
So as you can see, we have our two mashed rohu fish or rohu fish Bharta in our two different ways. We didn't have to use a mortar or pestle or have to mash it by hand or do anything further. It's a very simple recipe. You should definitely give this a try. And this is what the two of the dishes looks like. For this recipe of mashed long bean or long bean Bharta, you will need 1 cup of diced cilantro, 1 cup of diced onion, 4 green chili peppers, 800 grams of long beans, salt to taste, and a 1/4 cup of mustard oil. So now we're making our bean Bharta or mashed bean, and we're going to add a cup of water to
boil the beans,
and put the heat on medium high and put all our beans into the water.
And
4 green chilies are going to go in. A teaspoon of salt.
We are going to leave on for 10 minutes.
And we're going to let it cook for 10 minutes with the lid on. So as you can see, this is 10 minutes after, and we open the lid and squeeze some of our beans. but the beans are relatively solid, so it's going to take another 10 minutes for the beans to become soft and cooked. So it has been 20 minutes since we started boiling our beans, and now it should be soft and done. The very next part we're going to show you after it has cooled down. So you can see we have our 4 green chilies that we cooked and the rest of our beans. Right now we're going to put it in our blender and blend it. So now we're done blending all of it, and we haven't added any water, so you can see the consistency right here.
It's a little bit chunky, not paste.
We're adding the mustard oil to a pan on medium heat now.
And adding our onions.
And we're adding our onions. We're stirring it. We have been roasting the onion in the oil for 2 to 3 minutes now, and we're not going to brown the onion, so we're going to add our bean. And remember that the bean already had the salt added to it, so we're not going to add salt to it right now. We've been roasting this for 2 to 3 minutes now, and now we're going to add our cilantro. So as you can see, we have been cooking our bean for 5 more minutes, and the bean has dried, so when you start to stir it, it starts to come up to the spatula or the spoon, and that means we are actually done. So as you can see, this is our final mashed long bean or mashed long bean Bharta. I hope you guys all try it. So as you can see, here are all 3 of the dishes that we made today. Here is the mashed long beans or the mashed long bean Bharta, and the other 2 dishes, the mashed fish, which is made from rohu fish. And rohu fish you can only get to make mashed in this way, with it all like this. You cannot do this with other fishes. And here's our rohu fish Bharta, mashed rohu fish that we made spicy by adding onions and pepper.